So this is on my list. I'm a lover girl, I'm not gonna lie.
No basic zone.
What's up, Stush gang? Welcome or welcome back to another video with the Stush Life. As you guys have already read from the title, today I'll be sharing the books that I would like to read in this new year, 2023. So if you guys are interested in seeing the books that are on my reading list, then definitely stay tuned. Before we dive into my reading list for 2023, make sure you leave your girl a thumbs up, subscribe down below as well if you are new and you haven't already subscribed. If it's your first time seeing my face, if it's your first time clicking on any of my videos, make sure you subscribe down below and join the Stush gang, become a Stush gal, and also follow me on Instagram and on TikTok at the Stush Life. So I know a lot of you guys wrote out your goals for 2023. I wrote out some of mine, and one of my goals this year is to read 10 books. So I do have a list of books that I would like to check off my list for 2023. So of course I'm going to share them with you guys. I did share a book list with you guys in the past. I'll go ahead and leave that up above and down below with you guys. I was able to check some books off the list, but you will see some reappearing in today's video because I didn't get to them in the last year. So I'm actually going to be sharing my books on my iPad with you guys today. That's where I've been reading my books, on my iPad in the Books app. I do like reading physical books, but I'm not gonna lie, I paid a pretty penny for my iPad, so I'm gonna get the uses out of my iPad. I'll be reading majority of the books on my iPad. Again, I do use the Books app. The Books app is free, but you can read books on your phone and on your iPad. I just want to point out the fact that I love the Books app because you can actually create a goals list, a reading list, or reading goals list on the app. So it actually shows all the books that I read in 2022. And as you guys can see here, it has 10 slots to track the books that I'll be reading 2023. I told you guys that I want to read at least 10 books in 2023. So just wanted to point that out. And there are free books on the app as well, but the books that I'm sharing today do have a price. So let's go ahead and get into them. And just really quickly before we start, I do like self-help books. I do like nonfiction books. I do like memoirs, biographies. Those are the type of books that I like to read. Nonfiction, not so much. I do have some nonfiction, I believe, on here, but for the most part, I like self-help books. I want to finish reading a book feeling like I learned something about myself or learned something about someone else. So those are the books that I typically like to read. So let's just start in no particular order. So the first book that I want to read is by Michelle Obama. It is called The Light We Carry. I'm going to go ahead and put up pictures of the book on the screen. So this is called The Light We Carry, Overcoming in Uncertain Times. So I did read Michelle Obama's first book. I believe I read that 2 years ago when it just came out. I purchased it, and this, I believe, is her second book. So this one says it's a New York Times bestseller and USA Today bestseller, one of Time's 100 must-read books of 2022. So I'm just a little late. It's an inspiring follow-up of her critically acclaimed #1 best-selling memoir, Becoming Former First Lady Michelle Obama shares practical wisdom and powerful strategies for staying hopeful and balanced in today's highly uncertain world. 100% here for it. It already has 230 ratings on the Books app, so I cannot wait to read this book. This might be one of the first books that I read after I finish this book that I'm currently reading that I was supposed to finish last year, but we didn't get to that. The second book that I would like to read this year is by another Black author. We love the Black authors. We gotta support the Black people, period. This one is by Gabrielle Union, and this book is called You Got Anything Stronger. So I did read, again, her first book. I read her first book last year. The book was called We're Going to Need More Wine. You Got Anything Stronger. It is categorized as a biography / memoir, and it says it is also included in the Times must-read books of 2021 list. I'm late, apparently. It says it's funny, tender, and so good. Get ready to laugh, cry, and shake your head in disbelief as multi-talented performer Gabrielle Union spills it all. You Got Anything Stronger digs deep, picking up where Union's breakout memoir, You're Gonna Need More Wine, left off. So very, very excited because I already read the first memoir, and I'm very excited to get into this one as well. I love her as an author. I feel like her work is very personable. You can get into it. It's an easy read. I just love her books. Well, I loved her first book, and I think I'm going to love this one as well. So this one's on the list as well, and this one has 75 ratings, 4 stars. The next book that I would like to read is called The Good Life, Lessons from the World's Longest Scientific Study of Happiness, and this one is by Robert Waldinger and Mark Schultz. And this one falls under the genre of health, mind, and body. So it says what makes for a happy life, a fulfilling life, a good life. According to the directors of the Harvard Study of Adult Development, the longest scientific study of happiness ever conducted, the answers to these questions might be closer than you realize. And I guess I'm going to figure it out in this book. I like reading books like this. I'm all about positivity. Well, I try to be all about positivity. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes my feathers do get a little ruffled, but I definitely want to do this, create a more meaningful and satisfying life. And this book has tips on how to do so. So I definitely want to get into this year. This has only 4 ratings on the Books app, but that may be because it just came out in 2023. I don't know, but this is on the list as well. The next book that I would like to read is called All About Love. It is by Bell Hooks. This one falls in the genre of nonfiction. See, I told you I like my nonfiction books. Apple Books review. It says, in Bell Hooks' prolific career as a poet and scholar, her 2000s book All About Love stands alone. In it, Hooks deconstructs the topic of love from a philosophical and psychological viewpoint, distilling insights from both weighty academic papers and popular self-help books. So this is on my list. I'm a lover girl, I'm not gonna lie. I am a lover girl, so I do want to get into this book. I feel like it will be a really good read. So this is on the list as well. And that one has 434 ratings, and it comes in with 5 stars on the Books app. The next book that I have on the list is called Self-Care for Black Women, 150 Ways to Radically Accept and Prioritize Your Mind, Body, and Soul. Can you guess the genre? Health, mind, and body. This one is actually released in 2022 and is by Oldara Adio. Hopefully I'm pronouncing the name correctly. A Black author writing it for Black women. We love that. So this is on my list as well. This only has 4 ratings on the Books app, but it was released in 2022, so that might be the reason why. But just from the reviews, it says this book is so good. So listen, I'm here for it. I'm ready to read this one as well. And there is also an unabridged version of this book. I'm sure there might be some unabridged versions for some of the other ones that I've mentioned, meaning that someone can read it to you. But I don't know. I personally like flipping with my Apple Pencil through the pages, so I don't know if I'll utilize that version or if I'll actually read it. I'll probably end up just reading it. The next book that I had falls under biographies and memoirs. This one is called Between the World and Me. Hopefully I don't butcher this name. It's by Ta-Nehisi. Hopefully I didn't butcher that name. But this is a New York Times bestseller as well, National Book Award winner, named one of Time's best 10 nonfiction books of the decade, Pulitzer Prize finalist. Listen, it goes on and on, okay? Apple Books reviews it as acclaimed journalist Coates follows up with his 2008 memoir, The Beautiful Struggle, about growing up in Baltimore as the son of a Vietnam vet and a former Black Panther. It says, written as an open letter to his teenage son, Between the World and Me is a blistering meditation of what it's like to be young, Black, and male in America today, weaving together painful scenes from American history with personal anecdotes, like a harrowing encounter with a white woman on Manhattan's Upper West Side. Coates delivers a deep, beautifully written exploration of race relations that's as sobering as it is enlightening. I'm excited. This one has 2,759 ratings and it comes in with 5 stars. So I just know that I'm going to love this book. Sounds like it's going to be a deeper read, a heavier read, but I'm 100% here for it. Let me know if you guys have read this book because I saw a lot of people talking about it. Coming up next, A Gentle Reminder by Bianca Sparacino. This one falls under fiction and literature. And this one is a gentle reminder for the days you feel light in this world and for the days in which the sun rises a little slower. A gentle reminder for when your heart is full of hope and when you are learning how to heal it. A gentle reminder for when you finally begin to trust in the goodness and for when you need the kind of words that hug your broken pieces back together. Baby, I'm here for it. One of the reviews says you won't regret it. That's all I need to know. That is all I need to know. And it comes in with 5 stars and 316 ratings on the Books app. I cannot wait to read this. And sometimes you just need those reminders. So I feel like this could be a Bible for me. So I'll update you guys for sure. The next book on the list actually carries over from last year. I didn't get to open this up. This is Power by Robert Greene and Juice Elfers. This falls in the genre of health, mind, and body. A lot of people have read this book. This has a ton of ratings, 1,557 ratings to be exact, and it comes in with 4 stars. It says, moral, cunning, ruthless, and instructive, this multi-million copy New York Times bestseller is the definitive manual for anyone interested in gaining, observing, or defending against ultimate control. Get into it. We're going to get into it this year. I really need to read this book this year because it's been on my list for a little while. And again, this is the 48 Laws of Power. I usually just say power, but it's the 48 Laws of Power. The next book on the list is actually called The Psychology of Money because I need to get into it. Let me tell you how I need to get into it. But this book is written by Morgan Housel. It's a timeless lessons on wealth, greed, and happiness. So this falls under the genre of business and personal finance. And it says doing well with money isn't necessarily about what you know. It's about how you behave. And the behavior is hard to teach even to smart people. And listen, I need to be taught. So it talks about money, investing, personal finance, and business decisions is typically taught as a math-based field where data and the formulas tell us exactly what to do. But in the real world, people don't make financial decisions on a spreadsheet. I agree. Some people do. I'm not that type of girl. They make them at the dinner table or in a meeting room where personal history, your own unique view of world, ego, pride, marketing, and odd incentives are scrambled together. In this Psychology of Money, award-winning author Housel shares 19 short stories exploring the strange ways people think about money and teaches you how to make better sense of one's life's most important topics. I need to make sense of it, so hopefully Housel helps me make sense of this. So this one comes in with 5 stars, 1,145 ratings on the Books app. Let me know if you guys have read this. I really am trying to change my relationship with money, so this hopefully will help me do so. Are y'all still here? Y'all sticking with me? I have 3 more. So I have 2 novels here. Both fall in the romance category, not like me at all, but we're going to get into them. The first one is called It Starts With Us. It's a novel by Colleen Hoover. A lot of people have been talking about this, so I'm like, okay, let's just go ahead and see what the hype is about. It has 7,072 ratings, way more than any of the other books that I mentioned in today's video. So it says, romance superstar Hoover helps us bask in the light at the end of the tunnel in this emotional romantic novel. Still skittish from an abusive marriage, Lily is trying her absolute best to make a new life for herself and her infant daughter. So not only do I want to read It Starts With Us, but I also want to read It Ends With Us, which is another novel by Miss Hoover. This one says, new adult pioneer Hoover's latest novel is a courageous and autobiographical look at the cycle of domestic abuse. Lily Bloom is still making peace with the death of her violent father when she meets Raoul, a charismatic neurosurgeon. So again, romance, I don't want to dive too deep into it. Definitely do your research. But It Ends With Us comes in with 42,719 ratings, 5 stars. Hold up. Wow. So apparently everyone loves It Ends With Us more just based off the ratings, but I'll be reading both of them and I'll let y'all know how I feel about them, okay? So I have one more actually, and this one is called Everything I Know About Parties, Dates, Friends, Jobs, Life, and Love by Dolly Alderton. So this one is a biography and a memoir. And this one says, when it comes to the trials and triumphs of becoming an adult, journalist and former Sunday Times columnist, Alderton has seen and tried it all. In her memoir, she vividly recounts falling in love, finding a job, getting drunk, getting dumped, realizing that Ivan from the corner shop might just be the only reliable man in her life, and that absolutely no one can ever compare to her best girlfriends. So it says, everything I know about love is about bad dates, good friends, above all else, realizing that you are enough. This one has only 49 ratings. It came out in, it doesn't say when it came out. It was released in 2020. So I'm interested to see how this one will be, but what I do like about the cover is the fact that it says everything I know about love, but parties is scratched out, dates is scratched out, friends is scratched out, jobs is scratched out, and life is scratched out. So it breaks it down to say everything I know about love. Very interesting. So scratch out everything else. The only thing that matters is love. We shall get into it. We shall see. So those are the books that are on my list for 2023. Let me know if you guys have read any of these books. Definitely comment down below and let me know what books you guys are reading this year. Drop some book recommendations down below as well. Remember, I'm open to pretty much everything, but I love self-help books. I like memoirs. I like biographies and stuff like that, but I'm open to reading fiction books as well. Definitely let me know down below what other books I need to add to my list. If you guys enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave your girl a thumbs up down below. Subscribe to my YouTube channel down below as well if you haven't already, and share this video with one of your friends that's a bookworm. And don't forget to also follow me on Instagram and on TikTok at the Stush Life. And until the next one, I'll see you guys all later. Bye guys.